Hello and welcome to the Armed Forces iRacing League. I'm your host, Alexander. Today is round 3 of the championship. We're about to head into qualifying here. We got about 7 drivers today. A couple couldn't make it due to scheduled plans and out of town reasons, but thank you all for showing up today. Right now we're just watching qualifying. Andrew Fitzgibbons out of McConnell Air Force Base. And behind him, I think that is Nathan Fuller. We have a couple Army guys here today. Yep, that 24 is Nathan Fuller. So you see Andrew spin. Cold tires, of course. But Nathan, he's U.S. Army. He's been in for 6 years. He's active duty, and he's right now based out of Fort Knox, Kentucky. So thank you, Nathan, for showing up today. Andrew is 24 years old. He's stationed here at McConnell, of course. He's been in the racing. He owns a 1985 Mazda RX-7, and he's a huge rotary nerd. If you don't know what rotary engines are, it's a specific motor Mazda kind of, I want to say, invented. And it's a really cool design. It's not like your typical piston engine. It's a whole different ballgame. Thomas, he's also based out of McConnell Air Force Base. He's been in for 8 years active duty. So thank you, Thomas, for showing up as well. Today again, we're at Lime Rock Park. Lime Rock is a 1.53 mile circuit out of Lakeville, Connecticut. It opened in 1956, so it's been around a long time, and it's been a staple of a bunch of high-level motorsport series, including IMSA, WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. It is a quite tight track, so I think GTs are the only IMSA cars allowed to go to this track in real life, just because it's super tight and not a lot of room for prototypes to pass the slower GT class cars. Jacob Ross in the #1 Mazda. He is out of Hill Air Force Base, I think. And we also have Thad Weaver. He's been in for 17 and a half years in the Minnesota Air National Guard. So thank you all for joining as well. And we also have Gregory Burchett. I think He's going to be a little late to qualify. He might miss the race because he had to step up for something. But Gregory, he's been in for 16 years active duty. He's based out of Georgia. He's U.S. Army. So Nathan Fuller with the provisional pole of 57 flat for now. We got Thomas about 4/10 behind him, and the rest not that far behind. So pretty tight pack it seems today at Lime Rock. With qualifying being that close together, surely there's going to be some good battles to watch. For those that don't race in iRacing and are just spectating, iRacing is the world's leading racing simulator. They've been around since 2008, I think. They're pretty big in the NASCAR side of things. They hold the eNASCAR series and multiple other esports, like the Tag Heuer Porsche E-Cup series, which is extremely competitive. And I think along with the introduction of IndyCar esports series this year, as well as FIA Formula 4 global esports series, so iRacing keeps growing their esports series. It's hard to not notice them compared to other simulators out there. iRacing is probably the most popular in the whole world. Well over 100,000 users. It's not just road racing or NASCAR. With iRacing, they do the whole shebang, from road course racing to oval to dirt road and dirt road. That includes your sprint cars and late model dirt track cars, and even the rallycross and trophy trucks, like your Pro 2 Light and Pro 4 trucks, and anything from the Volkswagen Beetle Lights to Subaru WRXs, Rally Cross Edition, of course. It's quite a lot of fun to run rallycross on this service. Thank you, Jason, for attending as well today. I want to see your Air Force. If I'm mistaken, I apologize. Andrew Fitzgibbons, he is currently our championship leader. Let's see. Mistaken. I know at Laguna Seca for round 1, Andrew finished second. Kai Schappert finished third. Nathan finished fourth. Thomas fifth. Jacob Ross sixth. Jason Huck 7. And a couple more people as well. Last week we had Nathan Fuller win it. Andrew finished second. Jacob Ross finished at the podium. So I don't think the points are correct, but you might be counting the drop week that's included already. Looks like qualifying is soon to be over. The race should be starting any minute. If you guys didn't know, my co-commentator, Major Chris Walsh, he races in real life. Actually, he's the first active duty military member to race professionally. He just competed in SRO, I think GT America. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chris. But he raced real life at Virginia International Raceway last weekend and did pretty darn well. Finished first and second in TC in those two races, and then in the two races of GT4 he finished fourth and sixth. So go back and watch those videos if you want to see Major Walsh do pretty good in some real life racing. It's not easy, I'll tell you that. Racing in real life is a different ball game. Alrighty. Looks to be like we're gridding up here. Nathan Fuller with the pole position of a 57.053, with Jason Huck getting a 57.385, Thomas 57.485, Andrew with a 5.60, and Jacob with a 6.95, and then Thad with a 58.7. So looks to be like a pretty good fight in the top 5. Definitely going to be a fight for second and third. We'll see if Nathan can pull away. Because I did see a lot of people running off into the grass during the beginning portion, sector 1 of the lap. The back half of this track is pretty fun. The front half is pretty technical though. And again, for anybody spectating, these cars are the Global Mazda MX-5 Cup cars. It's a spec series. We do run open setups in this championship, so you're free to tune the car to your driving style and see if you can't get a little bit faster than other people. Setups do help, but it's not always down to that, you know. These MX-5s can only be tuned so much, and then it's kind of not that much of an advantage. Let's see. These Mazda cars have 181 horsepower and 151 pound-feet of torque. And it's a 6-speed manual transmission. As we're about to go green here.
Green flag, green flag.
Nathan got a good jump along with Thomas. Jason Huck is going to passed up the inside by Thomas. Nathan's pulling away for the lead. Andrew Fitzgibbon is probably waiting to see if he can't gain a position or two. Oh, as Jason spins. It looked to be pretty clean from everybody else getting around him. Super unfortunate for Jason. Have to see if there's contact at the end of the race. As Nathan is pulling the gap on Thomas there. He looks a little bit spread out. Let's see if we can't get some close racing near the end of the race. We do have bonus points for the fastest lap of the race. When you finish in first, I think it's 30 points for the winner. And if you, it might be 31, but if you get the fastest lap, it's 5 extra bonus points, I think. I might be mistaken, I'll have to double check. Even if second place, doesn't finish first, obviously, if they get the fastest lap, they're getting more points than the leader. So it offers an opportunity to gain some points when you don't finish in first on track. Kind of makes the championship a little bit closer. Looks like Thomas is actually catching Nathan a little bit. The gap was a little bit more than it is last lap. Thomas right now with the fastest lap of 57.2, and I think that beats his qualifying time as well. So we'll have to see Nathan off at the end. Looks like Andrew's in there, okay. What happened to Jacob? He was only 3/10 behind. He must have made a little mistake or something. Thomas again setting the fastest lap of the race. Oh, and he goes off wide. Pushing a little too hard. Andrew's looking around the outside. See if he can't pull it off. Ooh, as Thomas gets a little squirrely and loose. Ah, he's going to tuck him on. Probably a smart move, because going a high speed corner like that is quite dangerous. Nathan's looking quite consistent. He's done multiple 57.2s. Jacob with a 57.1. Faster than the current leader, so he's probably going to be catching up to Andrew sometime soon. I will say Jacob has turned it around this week. He was a little bit off the pace in round 1 and 2, but it's quite cool to see Jacob some heaters today. Jason 6 seconds behind Dad. He might be able to catch Dad by the end of the race. This is a 30-minute race, and there are mandatory pit stops as well, so we're going to see some guys going to the pits probably around the halfway mark in about 10 or so minutes. Andrew seems to be going a little bit quicker as well. So he might be getting grips with the car now. And you tend to go faster when you're following somebody and trying to hunt somebody down as well. Always makes me go faster in races, trying to hunt somebody down, because I'm trying to get up there and pass them. If Jacob can close the gap to Andrew a little bit, we're going to have a good battle for second here, because Andrew's right on the tail of Thomas. Nathan set his fastest lap with his race, 57.181. This lap. Ooh, a little bit slower. Ooh, Andrew's getting real close to Thomas. Is he gonna send it around the outside? He thinks about it. I don't think it will stick though. This is gonna allow Jacob to get closer if they keep continuing to battle like this, so gonna have to watch out behind them. Also work together, try to pull away from Jacob, that is. Jason does seem to be closing down the gap to Thad fairly quickly. It was 6 seconds a couple laps ago. It's down to 2 seconds and lower. We're going to see a move from Jason, I think, going into turn 1. Sends it down the inside and Thad goes way out wide. I think just being a little too polite. Let's see if Jason can close down the gap to second, third, and fourth. Oh, I didn't even catch it. Andrew passed Thomas for a second. Maybe this is going to allow them to get away from Jacob, but Jacob is in the draft, so unless he makes a mistake, he's not going to go too far behind. I think that was the better move. Andrew past Thomas. They're moving right now. They might track that. Ooh, I was mistaken. Disregard. I thought it was a 57.2 and 1. I was wrong. Jason is about 8 seconds behind Jacob. We'll see him catch up by the end of the race. That is also getting a lot of coverage. I think he had some subpar laps a couple laps ago in the 59s. I think he's got it. Oh, we see Thomas sending it down the inside, going to turn it on. Looks like Andrews. He was probably going to send her around the outside, but probably thought better of it, just to sit behind him. Oh! I thought he was going to make that stick. This is a good battle between three of them. Jacob's probably just patiently waiting behind, see if they mess up big time or not. These cars, you can bump a little bit in them, side by side bumping and whatnot, but not too much. In real life, they do. Is Jacob gonna send it? So Andrew does stick it around the outside, but can't get the position back. Did the over and under, so we'll see. Can stick it around the outside. They're losing quite a lot of time to Thomas right now. Probably is about a second or more now. So they might want to think about trying to catch him back up to him. As Thomas goes off track. Nathan is still pulling away because of all this battling. He has extended his gap to second by 7.7 seconds at least. About 8 seconds now. Nathan is flying today. Jason is definitely catching up because of all this battling as well. I think Jason is the fastest one on the track at the moment. Ooh, is Jacob going to stick it down the inside? I think he is. Right there. Definitely some good battling today at Lime Rock. Definitely pushing the limits of the track, that is for sure. Getting right up close to the grass. Try to get the fastest lap time possible. That's why you see some of these cars hitting the inside curbs, because they're not curbs that will upset the car too much. Sometimes some curves to go through a car faster. As we see Jacob dive down the inside of Andrew. He's going to hold it on the inside. Can he complete the pass and stick it this time? Oh, I think he was a little too hesitant there. Oh, and he comes back and makes it stick. Is Andrew going to go around the outside again? Not this time. I think this move is completed for now. Oh, he had a better run. He's going to get it done. I don't think it's enough. I think Andrew's just going to stick with it. Catching Thomas. I think Andrew knows that. So they probably want to catch up and see if Jacob can't steal third or second from Thomas. As we see Nathan pitting. He's coming down the pit lane currently. And there is no mandatory tire change, only for fuel. We limit the fuel available to start with. So it's a mandatory pit stop. Oh, Jacob's going to send it. And he sacrificed his corner pretty bad. Oh. Jacob gets hit from behind by Andrew. I don't think that was intentional. I think it was just because Andrew probably didn't see it in time. Review that after the race and review it. We're going to see anybody else pit. Thad, Jason also pitted. Nathan with a 34.9 second pit stop. So Jason was closing down the gap to Jacob, Andrew, and Thomas. So Andrew dives down in the pits as well. Jason Huck with a 36.7 stop and Thad with a 38.3. You can make up quite a lot of time in the pits, so it is important to get a good launch out of the pit box. Andrew did a decent one at a 35.2, so not that far behind Nathan. So as we see Thomas, he's probably going to go down the pit lane here soon. Yep, he's going now. Dad's going back into the pits. I wonder why. So we see Nathan, excuse me, Jacob pitting as well. Nathan's coming through, about to reclaim the lead. See how fast Thomas's stop was compared to Andrew's. Ooh, Thomas had a 36.1, so about a second slower than Andrew, so we'll have to see how close that gap is when they come out. Oh, and they're right beside each other. Epic battle for second here. Is Andrew going to send it? No. Might wait till next lap. Have to see what Andrew can come up with move-wise. See if he can't get second. Thomas is doing well with the pressure from behind. Doesn't even look like he's phased. See if he cracks or continues to do that. We have a car off to the left there to see what happened. He just got loose, I think. Going up the hill. Yep. That's just unfortunate. Thankfully, there wasn't any cars coming up right behind him because they probably would have got taken out. Got about 8 minutes remaining, so probably 10 or so laps, I'm assuming, left in the race. I know he's definitely trying to hunt the Thomas down. And it looks like Jason has passed Jacob for 4th. Again, this series is open to all active duty military, retired veterans, DoD, so civilians and employees, in any branch. iRacing is not a super popular game like FPS shooters or RPGs or stuff like that, so if you guys know anybody that is in the racing, in your shop, in your work center, in your squadron or wing, group or wing, let them know. I'd like to race, see if the Air Force, Chair Force can't beat the Army. But we're getting a whooping today by Nathan, aren't we? Nathan's definitely dominating this race. He's very fast and consistent today. This will be his 2nd win on the season if he finishes in 1st. Seems to be closing up the gap, and Thomas is defending the inside. Going side by side. Andrew's gonna try to do a move, I'm assuming. Nope. He's waiting for a better opportunity. Got about 4 minutes left of the race. Still waiting to see if Andrew is going to pressure him another time one of these laps. It's been pretty good battle so far. Been neck and neck. Is pulling away a little bit from Andrew. Will we see Andrew make a move? Oh, he goes wide, almost loses it. But he saves it. Pretty good save. Nathan keeps extending his gap. 14 seconds now. If Thomas can pull this off and remain in second with the fastest lap, I think it's going to be his first podium of this championship as well. So it's going to get him some good points towards the season total. And if y'all didn't know, first place at the season end in championship points receives 60 iRacing credits. That can buy you a couple tracks and cars if you're trying to expand your GT3 or GT4 prototype roster, or even NASCAR. It can definitely open up some options for you. iRacing is pretty pricey at times. The purchase model is not too friendly, but it's one of the best platforms, if not the best out there. So it does seem like Andrew's falling off the pace a little bit. I think we're about to head into our penultimate lap, I think. Nathan just crossed the line with 15 seconds to go, so it might be final lap, it might be one more after this. As we see Jacob in the pits. He might have underfueled. I think Jacob underfueled. He's going to come out right in front of Thomas. Jacob goes off track. He's very respectful and polite to not get in other people's ways. It's good heads up driving from Jacob. There's been one too many times where I've witnessed people rejoining at a very not so friendly point and ruining other people's races. So bravo to you, Jacob. I think this would be checkered. Jacob, it's Thomas whirls across the line. Is that? I'm not sure if that is him sending. I think it is. We'll slow him down. Alright, Nathan came out with the win. With the fastest lap by 57.181. But Thomas, I think, came out with more points because he had the fastest lap of anybody with a 57.084. Andrew finishing out the podium, Jason in 4th, Jacob in 5th. Thank you all for watching today. Be sure to tune in next week. When we go, I want to say, Nathan's trying to do some burnouts. It's pretty hard to do that in this car because it doesn't have that much horsepower. Congrats again to Nathan Fuller. But yeah, be sure to tune in next week at Watkins Glen. No chicane with the boot, so pretty long layout. But it should be a real flowy high speed or higher speed track for these Mazdas. But yeah, thanks again for